the fucking ornament.
I was gonna throw it at him.
If you've been interested in the finals, but you're like me and you've had your head in the sand ever since this game was announced, don't even worry about it, because in this video, I'm gonna get you up to speed on it.
Whee! Whee! It's Portal. I'm playing Portal.
Welcome to the new studio, by the way. It's pretty cool. Long time no see, guys. How's it going? The finals might be the most visually impressive and fun competitive shooter that I've ever played. I say that because I'm 20 hours into it and it hasn't even been a week.
It's okay. I'm over here getting on by the other team, so.
Oh my god, you fucking dick.
With that visual flair comes destructible environments that are used in a way that I've never seen in a competitive shooter before. Please don't mess the futon up. I know it was cheap, but I just bought it. I really don't want it to be messed up. I could feel this way because, to be fair, I haven't gotten into a competitive shooter since Apex Legends. That being said, maybe there really is something special going on here.
Coming to you, Josh. I got you. If I can get. Oh, wait. Oh my god! Never mind.
The finals is a team-based FPS where your main goal is to bank the most cash, which will play out a little bit differently depending on the game mode, currently of which there's two. Bank it and Quick Cash. In Quick Cash, you'll have a vault spawn at the beginning of the map, and your goal is to be the first team to grab that vault and deposit it at a cash out point. But that's only one piece of the puzzle, of course. Once you deposit your money at that cash out, it takes about 2 minutes to deposit, which is pretty inconvenient when you have two other teams that also want that deposit, and they're not gonna wait in line for it. That's a real rough day at the bank. Payday ain't got shit on this game. Another team can immediately turn the tide of the game if they're able to get their hands on that cash out and override it before the other team can stop them. This ramps up the tension and it can get really crazy towards the end of the match. What gets the tension even crazier and what makes it harder is having the ability to wipe out a team.
2, 1, I'm gonna respawn. I respawn.
An awkward moment for the Kingfish, team one.
When you get eliminated, there's about a 15 to 20 second window that you gotta sit through before you can respawn. But if every team member gets wiped out and there isn't at least one on the playing field, the entire team has to sit out for another 20 seconds. And it'll feel like the longest 20 seconds of your life.
And 10 seconds, Josh! Oh wait, y'all are both fine. Oh, damn it. I had 4 seconds left.
That's pretty much the format for Quick Cash, and when it comes to the bank out mode, it's pretty much the same, but with an added team and the added element of players actually dropping coins when they die. Not to be confused with your character exploding into coins when they die like it's Scott Pilgrim.
That's a deposit from the powerhouses.
This element basically brings that same tension of waiting around for the cash out box directly to the player who has their pockets full of coins as they're frantically trying to race to a deposit box.
Slow and steady from the retros. Nice deposit.
Here comes a new challenger!
As I'm editing this video, they added a solo banquet mode, because if fighting with teams wasn't hectic enough, now you can do it in a free-for-all with 12 other players. The objectives are still the same. You're still opening up vaults and eliminating other players to grab as many coins as possible and get them deposited before you get taken out and have them stolen. Now the only team you're doing it for is yourself. And this game mode might just be a little bit broken, just a little bit. I won my first 2 games on this game mode, and I'm going to drop some meta for you. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, you're thinking it's a little too crazy, I'm gonna tell you what you need to do, all right? You're gonna wanna grab a light class with the C4, and then instead of fighting other players over vaults or trying to pick them off for their coins, you're not gonna waste your time doing that. You're gonna let them do the work for you. You're gonna beeline it straight to a vault even though you have no coins, find a nice cozy corner to hide in, and you're gonna post up there with your C4 sitting on the vault. I would elaborate further, but I think you see where this is going.
Full of with coins has just been shown the door.
Oh my god!
Deposit time. Nice little stash locked in. Test it.
All jokes and cheesing aside, I think this game mode's pretty fun. It's a cool addition, and I'm interested to see what they can do with other player counts. What if we do teams of 4? What if we do teams of 10? Anyways, that's all I got. Back to the video. By the way, this all plays out in this game show environment, which is really cool. You got sportscasters that are kind of commentating on what's going on throughout the match, and it's something that just really fits well for this type of game. You're always playing these multiplayer shooters where you got a voice in the background that's like, your team's losing, pick it up. But something about having that third party kind of commentating on what's going on is really neat.
the jet setters with that cash out. The jet setters assume command of the match.
There's also tournament modes that include brackets and ranked play, but outside of a few variances, the gameplay is generally about the same. So if this was just another one of these team-based shooters where you play cat and mouse with some money, I probably wouldn't be making this video. But as you've probably noticed, there's one big feature that we gotta talk about: the destructible environment. If you see a building in the finals, you can probably level that same building to the ground. Whether it's an explosive, a sledgehammer, or just pure body weight, you can bust through pretty much every wall, roof, or floor in the game. Digital Foundry pointed out that we really haven't seen this level of destruction in a competitive shooter since Bad Company 2. Over a decade ago. That was a game that was developed in part by DICE, whose ex-developers are also on the team behind the finals. This also may just be pure coincidence, but I found the finals to give me some Mirror's Edge vibes, which is another DICE game, by the way. I would be very interested to know if any of the same art team that worked on Mirror's Edge came over and worked on the finals. If you know anything about that, drop it in the comments. Unlike the destruction in previous Battlefield games, however, in the finals you can destroy structural supports of the building that'll cause it to dynamically fall apart. Now, this is interesting for a few reasons. First off, it's just technically impressive that they're providing this level of destruction in such a visually impressive game, while also utilizing ray tracing on modern consoles, while also keeping the frame rate above 60 FPS. It's really cool to see current gen consoles finally taking advantage of ray tracing. I mean, sure, it's no Call of Duty Ghost, but other than gushing over the spectacle of it all, I find it interesting from a gameplay perspective. Rainbow Six Siege is another game that utilizes destructible environments in its gameplay, but it's very different from what we see here in the finals. When Siege was first announced, they made it seem like you could just blow holes through any wall that you wanted, kinda like what we see in the finals. But in the final release of Siege, this ended up being limited to very obvious spots in the map where this was allowed. To be fair, this could have been due to software or hardware limitations, but I think the most obvious factor here was gameplay balancing. If you've ever played a competition-focused game, you know that it has a very precise and almost sterile feel to its gameplay. Fighting games are probably the obvious example here because they have gameplay systems that seem simple on the surface, but their combat systems and level layout are intentionally designed to provide a playing field where experienced players will always dominate.
I'm done.
In a competitive environment, there's very little room for elements that would cause what I would call randomness. When it comes to map layouts, as an example, players will spend hours learning the best angles for an attack or the fastest ways to an objective. So when the finals comes along and allows the levels to quite literally fall apart, especially near the end of the game in its most heated time period, it creates this gameplay dynamic that really surprised me, and I feel like I genuinely haven't played it before. You'll be defending an objective, an explosion will happen that you weren't expecting, and all of a sudden that wall will become a pile of rubble or a source of cover that you can hide behind. Maybe you have a team camping on their cash out and you can't find a way in, so you make your own way in.
Did a vault so you can deposit, okay?
Holy fuck!
Or you bring the cash out to you. Or maybe you use the environment to make it as hard as possible for the other players to get their hands on that cash out.
There it goes. There it goes.
Doing tricks, damn.
Embark knows that this is what players are going to want to do, and they allow it in spades by placing cash outs on multi-floor buildings or behind walls that deceptively provide cover, but only for so long. I feel like the finals is teaching me something about level design here. While on the surface it seems like you can just randomly destroy anything you want, there clearly had to be a lot of thought and time put into figuring out how this would work in a competitive setting. I can't imagine the amount of testing and design they had to go through before they got this formula down, and sure, maybe it leads to a few games where you feel like you got cheated, but that same feeling you get on the receiving end is what's going to make it so much more satisfying when you're dishing it out.
Fantastic performance from all involved.
Fucking won! Yeah!
That's a wrap for now. And even though the battle was virtual,
Suck my
Argentin's
dick.
renowned fame is real.
Oh, snap!
You'll dish out that win in any playstyle you want with your team of 3.
All right. The retros, the powerhouses.
Hello? Oh no. When starting a game, you'll choose between a light, a medium, or a heavy class, each having their own weapons, equipment, and specials based on their strengths. You'll also share a variety of different grenades that you can use with each class. Now, before you put too much thought into the whole class system in this game, what you want to play with really just depends on your playstyle.
It's Portal. I'm playing Portal.
And I never really felt punished for playing with whatever I chose. I feel that in some competition-focused games, you have to play a certain class to benefit your team or you'll be at a severe disadvantage. But I've seen teams of any variety do well in the finals, at least in my gameplay experience.
Powerhouses.
What the fuck?
Whether it's light classes using SMGs and snipers, grappling over rooftops and cloaking their way through enemy lines, medium classes spamming jump pads and quick reviving each other, or heavy slamming through walls to hold down an objective, it really just comes down to how you want to play.
Why am I emoting? No!
If you want to move in quickly to take an objective over or take out as many people as possible, you'll use a light class. If you want to blow everything up and charge in head first with an LMG, you have your heavy class. And if you want to go blind, you'll have the sun directly in your face. I gotta go close these blinds. Of course, every class has its health and speed penalties to help balance out the gameplay, but I never really felt like I was at a severe disadvantage for whatever class I chose to play. You can argue about that one in the comments. If you can't tell, I'm trying to drive up engagement for the video, so if you don't want to comment, maybe you can like the video. The reason each class feels equally fun to me, despite the light class kind of being my favorite, is just how responsive and tight the movement and gunplay feel. Time to kill is quick regardless of the weapon depending on the range. Recoil is manageable and ammo is infinite minus the recharge penalties on throwables and specials. This gave me a good opportunity to feel the weapons out and learn how they work. It's fun to spam the shit out of the pistol halfway across the map even if it's really doing no damage. It's also fun to cause infinite damage to every building you come across. But there is still a time and place for your weapons and all of those grenades.
Throwing a frag.
You have gas and pyro grenades that'll keep the enemies pushed back, expanding foam grenades to quickly seal up an entrance or create a quick barrier that you can hide behind.
That's what you get.
As well as a number of other equipment options to choose from that I'm not even mentioning, like turrets. Besides the equipment, there's a nice variety of ranged weapons, melee weapons, and throwable weapons too, all of which are unlockable through the in-game currency that you earn as you play. So I guess that brings me to my favorite thing to talk about now. Season passes. This game has one. Every game has one now. It's a pretty standard affair. You rank it up as you play, separately from your player progression. 90% of the stuff you want on the season pass is locked behind a paywall, and there's a premium currency that you trade for your real currency to buy your season pass. There's no getting around it. This is a free game. Did I mention that? This is a free play? And the devs gotta get paid. This game is surely a multi-million-dollar project that's been in development and testing for years now, and it still doesn't charge a fee for entry, something I can't say about Worms Rumble. And I've already gotten 20 hours out of this game and had a lot of fun with it, no strings attached. So I feel a lot better about supporting a game like this with my money than say a $70 fully priced game that immediately asks you for even more money to get any of the cool shit in it. Oh, but it's all good because we give you a 3-hour campaign that we put no effort into and used recycled assets with, and a map list from 2009. Anyways, it seems like the season pass here in the finals will run you about $10 or 1,150 credits, which isn't really too bad considering that you'll get enough credits from the season pass to buy the next season pass, so it basically pays for itself, assuming there'll be another season pass, and assuming it'll be the same price, and assuming you unlock all the tiers in the season pass. Hell, there's actually a cosmetic pack in the game right now that you can buy for the same amount of credits that also includes the amount of credits that you need for the season pass. So it's like buying a $10 cosmetic pack, then getting a season pass free, or it's like buying a season pass and getting a cosmetic pack. Anyways, do that. Like, you might as well do that. Don't just buy the season pass. Buy that, then get the season pass, or do whatever you want with the credits. Or don't buy anything and just play the game. You can't just play the game. It's fine. You can play a game without spending money on it. Now that I'm done playing devil's advocate, let's criticize it. When you first start the game and confirm your account, they give you 150 credits of the premium currency, which gives you enough for maybe one gun skin. That being said, they do allow you to earn the premium currency too. 75 whole credits at the end of the battle pass. For context, I'm 20 hours into the game and I'm not even a quarter of the way there. They do have some cosmetic unlockables for your weapons and character that are free, so there are some regular progression rewards, but it's pretty obvious that if you want anything remotely flashy or cool, you're gonna have to pay up. Again, this is a free game, and a pretty damn good one at that. I really wish there was a system that allowed you to earn the premium currency through gameplay. There's only so many pieces of gear and weapons that you can use your earnings for until that runs out, so if there was a way to convert your base currency for a premium currency that you earn as you play, I think that would be a really cool incentive to keep grinding the game, outside of just the season pass. I think the finals is fun, fairly well balanced, and I don't feel the microtransactions being shoved in my face at every turn, which I think says a lot about the publisher's integrity. Then again, Embark Studios is a subsidiary of Nexon, who has been doing this free-to-play thing for decades now, so they probably know a thing or two about the business.
Get his money. Take it all.
I can't wait to see where the finals goes from here, and I think modern games could learn a thing or two from it. Why don't more games have this level of destruction in them? Let me know what you think of the destruction in the comments. Thank you to all of the channel members that are supporting the destruction of this channel. You guys are awesome. If you want to see more retrospectives and gaming opinions of mine, hop into the channel and check it out. I'm really looking forward to making 2024 something special, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I better see you guys in the next one. Please like and subscribe.